All right, question 3-67. Judy is working on part D of problem 3-66, so the one that we did before, and trying to make sense of the standard algorithm for decimal multiplication. Algorithm is just a fancy word for doing the math. So this is called an algorithm. We just do the math. So Judy says, wait a minute, I multiplied 2.3 by 0.4. So she's kind of taking this as 2.3 times 0.4, and then she's going to multiply 2.3 times 1. So she's kind of breaking this problem up into two pieces in her head, which I think is a little confusing. So I just want to show you this. So she's taking 2.3 times 0.4, all right, where we just kind of multiply it by the first term. And it says this, well, decimal points usually left out of a multiplication problem to the last step. You can see that Judy left them out in her work above. If the decimal points were put in, where would they go in each of the lines? That is 0.23 times 0.4, is it 92, 9.2, or 0.92? Well, if we did this, we'd get 12, carry a 1, that'd be 8, plus the 1 we carried is 9. And then I have two decimal places, so it'd be 0.92. So my decimal would be right there. It goes on then to say, and in the next line, she did this, 2.3 times 1. All right, well, if I multiply 2 points, so this is the 2.3 times 1. All right, and that's kind of the second line right here. But remember, we had to put in a 0 for a placeholder. So we have this idea, there's the 3, there's the 2, but remember we had to put in a 0 for the placeholder. All right, so now we end up with, hold on, we have to have a 0 there. So we have 2.50, or say, wait, that's not a 5, that's a 3. Sorry about that. Hold on, let me make this better. Let's see, let's start over on this part of it. All right, so erase that. All right, so we have 2.3 times 1. Well, if I multiply anything times 1, we get what we started with, right, which is 2.3, which 2.3 means my decimal goes right there, because 2.3 is the same thing as 2.30. They're equivalent. Well, when I line up look how the decimals get lined up here. So 2 and 0 is 2, 9 plus 3 is 12. Bring my decimal straight down. We carried a 1, and then 3.22. Okay, so it wants us to go ahead and copy Judy's work on your paper. Well, I did it here. You should have done it on your notebook paper, and put decimal place in the correct locations. Okay, then complete the work. What is 2.3 times 1.4? Well, it's 3.22. When you multiply this, though, let's be honest, we're not going to go and do it this way. They just want you to see why it works the way it does. When we multiply any decimals, we want to do this. We want to make sure that we're just going through, we're doing the multiplication. You know, we talked about sliding these decimals out of the way. So this is really 23 times 14. So when I multiply that, I get 4 times 3 is 12, carry a 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Put in a placeholder. 1 times 3 is 3, and then 1 times 2 is 2. Then once we're all finished, we add up our columns. We get 12, 13, and then we're at the idea where I slid my decimals to the right. So I did 2 spots total. So now we slide them back to the left, those 2 spots. We get 3.22. I would not expect for you to put decimals in like this. Okay, just multiply the numbers and then put your decimals in at the end.